So, good afternoon everyone. I hope you had a nice lunch but not too heavy. So, I am Sundar. This is my colleague Rahul. We've got an organization running called Join the Dots, in which innovation is one of. I'm sorry, I'm not standing. Is it okay?
Yeah, perfect.
So, we just started this innovation chapter in this organization. Of course, on innovation, I've had experience in Intel for the last 4.5 years, and I stepped out of Intel last June, and I wanted to take up teaching innovation as one of my personal lifetime goals. Apart from teaching other subjects which I am doing in some institutes like relational database management systems, information system strategies, etc. So coming away from my operations background, because 32 years I've been working in software development and operations, so I thought let me do something for a change which I want to do, instead of just doing what other people want to do. This is me, Rahul.
I've been...
It's hot here.
It's sort of fun.
Sorry.
So I've been running Join the Dots for about 8 years now, and I've primarily focused on working with people. So the reason why we kind of connected is because there's Sundar's passion for working in innovation, and my passion is working with people and really getting them to connect with various aspects. Right? I mean, some of them are the more standard kind, which I'm sure you've come across in your own experiences in the last couple of years, which is, you have team building, you have motivation, leadership. I'm sure you've been for different kinds of seminars, or you had people coming here and talking to you, or you've been sent at different points in time to develop these skills. So my special attention is, or my interest really is in getting people to be able to get the most out of whatever they're doing. It may sound a little vague, but basically it's about how do you get people to be interested and want to do X. The X in this case is innovation. Right? I'm sure you've read about it, you've heard about it. But the important thing is, how do we get people such as you here, how do we really get you to want to innovate all the time? Because also the thing is, I'm sure you've heard these words and they're very, very genuine. Right? When you say innovation, what do we mean by innovation? And then that's one sense why we're here today, to maybe very, very briefly just explore what we understand by innovation, because you'll find this over the next hour. Everybody has a different interpretation of even this word innovation, right? A lot of organizations today say you must be innovative, right? You must think out of the box, you must be creative, right? We hear these words over and over again. So
I see that all the time.
so the important thing is, how do we make those words, which are important, that's why they are there, that's why your organization and so many other organizations are also talking about it, are investing lots and lots of money in it. The important thing is, how do we break that down so that you are doing it on a regular basis? So in a way, that's what we're also going to explore. To give you an example of where I come from. So what I've looked at over the years is not just telling people what to do, which is why today partly we will kind of give you a sense of what it is, but more importantly, we want you to explore what this means. Because that's, in my own experience, I've noticed this over the years, regardless of what kind of organization, it could be an organization like Infosys, or an organization, sales-driven like, let's say, Oracle, or even, smaller consulting firms. The important thing is, across the board, it's about how do you get people to feel what these concepts are. So that's really where I come from. And I've used theatre largely over the years. We will not be doing too much of that today. But the intention being that, as we go along, hopefully we could actually look at, let's say, taking this to the next level. Because this is more absolutely saying, okay, have you understood what innovation is? Yeah, we've got it. Is what we're hoping would happen by the end of the day. As in just this 1 hour, 1.5 hours that we're together for. So that's really what brings us together. I guess,
Let me just add one thing. You are the business of operations, internally and externally. What I mean to say is, you have certain targets internally to deliver, so you got to keep the show running. And externally also, when you go for this performance assurance training, you're going for operations management training, you're trying to teach the other organizations also how to run their business in a predictable manner out here. So along with your daily work, how does innovation fit in? Where does it come in? Is it something just a person above you is pushing relentlessly, or is it something that can enrich your job and also drive the growth of the company? This is also something that we'll be examining out here as we go along. Does it make sense?
One thing I wanted to say that there's a lot of people, especially these many people, they're not involved in training. They're involved in creating online training. So there's a lot of design and development work that we do. We are not the kind of people who would go out, but we would do the development internally.
Right.
So we even content, this kind of content internally, and we would create the online learning, the final product for the science.
In fact, I think on that note, if you could just, since you have a sense or an idea of what we do or what brings us here, very quickly, if you could just give us a sense of, obviously your name, we've had one quick round of introduction, but your name, and maybe literally just in one sentence, what is it that you do here? Because I'm sure in your own sense, you look at what you do in a different way than, let's say, even what you've been hired for. On paper versus what you do, it's nice to hear what you have to say. Okay, so I guess we'll start from you
And your expectation. You're going to spend 1.5 hours of your valuable time here. So what do you expect to get out of it? Very brief.
I'm expecting.
We start with
your name and
start with the name, background, and experience.
Okay, my name is Rich. I have started my career here. So we developed courses after.
And your expectation.
I mean, about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting knowledge.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm Naveen.
Louder.
Yeah. See, we have to battle with the sound of the fan also, so it's nice and loud. Yeah.
Naveen. Basically, I'm from Mexico. Now I'm not here. Engineering here. I'm working as a graphic designer. Expectation. Getting knowledge.
But when you say getting knowledge, what do you mean specifically? Like, what would be two things, for example, the session was good for me. What would that mean? Knowledge is a very broad term. Something specific. Design. So you mean designing connected to our reason for being here, which is the innovation. Is that what you mean?
Okay, maybe you think about it.
Hello everyone, I am Krishnakant Sale. I started my career as a graphic designer, and my expectation would be I want to be a good manager in my field.
Okay. So
What's what
from
are you expecting
today's
from this
this
seminar?
1 hour session, what is your expectation?
What are you expecting from the seminar?
Apart from getting good photographs and videos, what would be your expectation?
It's an innovation seminar. So what is the expectation?
I just want to become more creative.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Kavya. I take over, I'm handling phase 2. Phase 1 is the session which the consulting they do it. It's a workshop, and phase 1 is that. And phase 2 I'm taking over everything.
Which is a follow-up of the workshop.
Right. So you handle follow-up
Yes.
of workshops with work. So what are you expecting from this 1 hour session?
It's like, I think I can learn more. It depends how I receive, and it's the kind of knowledge and everything. Which is, I don't have an idea about this.
Okay.
So
So to know about
I'll learn something.
Learn
Thank you.
Niranjana. But I'm an instruction designer. So the profession itself requires a lot of creativity and innovation in itself. We constantly need to think of innovative ideas to motivate learners to learn. So that's where I'm trying to connect innovation in my work area.
I'm Prakash. In one line I had operations. To give you a brief, from the time the business development team comes in saying that a client has this requirement, understanding what's the requirement, looking at a solution, ensuring that the content is developed, ensuring that consultants go and deliver, and the final message from the client saying that thank you very much. What my expectation is primarily in two areas. One is that I am forced to look at innovative solutions all the time. Reason is clients come back and say, hey Prakash, for the past 2 years we have done some 50 programs in client centricity, nothing is worked. There's no change absolutely. So I'm forced to look at something entirely different. That is one. Secondly is that the need, as we all know, the need to do more and more. So I know that unless I innovate, I cannot keep on making incremental changes in my processes. Not going to help me beyond the point. It might cut down my working hours from 12 to 10. But unless I make transformational changes in my processes, I'm not going to go up to the next level. So basically, where do I start at this? Or does innovation, how much it can be take me? That's it.
Hi, my name is Gunjan. So I'll continue from where he left. So the part where he hits all the training requirements, if there is any consulting part of the business, I take care of that. Being in this system for a little more than 4 years now, as you speak. Now the word innovation is something that you always said right in the beginning. It's one of the most abused words used in corporate world. Become a cliche now. It doesn't really mean anything. So for me, it's really important because the consultants that I work with right now, the examples, the scenarios, the exercises,
Internally or
inside, within on track. The examples, etc., that they use. In 2007, when I joined, I had created a few examples. It's good to see that people are actually emulating it, they're copying it, but that's it. They're not really going beyond that, they're not really coming up with anything. And for that matter, even my own tank has kind of, it's full right now, and I'm not able to think because I've not been doing as much workshops as I used to. So I think it will help. Unfortunately, I'll be off this room in the next 15 minutes, things like that. But I would love to look at the recording to see if this is answered anywhere.
So, assuming that you would have been here for an hour, what will be something tick marked at the end of it? Let's say we had 5 and 2 were tick marked, or 3 were tick marked, yeah, okay, I got a sense.
See, in the thought process, okay, so I need to now think about here is a scenario when I'm talking to the managers of the company about how to coach people, about how to handle people. People, they're not all the same, different strokes for different folks that we need to take care of. What example should I be giving that actually catches their attention? Right now what I'm using is what I've been using, and so far it's been working fine, but for my audience it's the first time I'm using it, but for myself, it's the nth number of times I've spoken the same thing. So though people are satisfied, I'm not satisfied. At the end of the day, I'm saying, what the hell, I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'm not really talking anything new. That's where exactly my biggest concern. The same thing with the consulting part as well, what we're doing. Ravi, who's the CEO, he has laid down a framework. I took it forward from there and I've created tons of review mechanism, the questionnaire and the reporting structure and study format, etc. But still no, it can be improved. One thing that I can blame on is I don't have time, which is the most convenient thing to do. Timely Mildra, I can't be fixed this time. But what I'm saying is, innovation cannot be done right 5 minutes बैठा है innovate कर दिया. It has to be an incremental thing. So that's something more that I would like to know.